Hello, hello, hello everyone. Look at this. It's an unpixelated version of The Wandering Barman. A live stream. Shit's working. Look at the lights. I'm sharp. You can see the fat. I've got like 3 different cameras I'm working with. I'm all very glad that you're here. Thank you for tuning in. Most of you probably know The Wandering Barman. I have got an absolutely banging show for you guys tonight, man. I've got sketches. I've got stand-up comedy. I've got an aperitivo workshop. I've got a couple of classic Prohibition cocktails. And I've got a special guest who's going to come in at some point later on in the night. Welcome, man. Are you happy? I don't know. I don't know if you're happy or not, man. I don't know. I hope you're happy. I'm looking down a lens and I can just see nothing, but I can feel everything. Check out my little Madonna mic. What do you think? Hit me, baby, one more time. I get it. It's 2 different people. It's called range, right? It's range. It's trying to accumulate all the cultural references in the one go. It's my thing. There'll be more of it throughout the show. You can do me a huge favor if you're watching. Just comment, say hello, let me know if something's not working, let me know if everything is working, let me know if you're happy. Give me some questions. We're going to be taking some notes of questions and I'll come back later on to see who's who, to see where we are. Ask me whatever you want. Ask me about my personal life. Ask me about The Wandering Barman. Ask me about cocktails. Ask me to predict the future for you. I don't know. You just tell me. I am happy because this is like the closest thing to anything live that I've done in a year. And I have to thank very kindly and a lot to the Comedy Cafe Berlin, man. Comedy Cafe Berlin, it's my people. It's my people. This space that I'm standing in right now, man, I am pretty much the longest running show that this theatre knows. This is my residency. It's been my residency for 5 years. And now they've got all this fancy equipment. They're going professional with the streaming. And they were like, hey, Chris, why don't you come down and do a Wandering Barman? Why don't you be the person? Why don't you take your show and show everyone? So I said, aye. So, yeah, okay, look, I'm really looking forward to this, man. It's going to be such a good show. I'm going to have a couple of drinks. It's going to make me funnier. I don't know about you guys because you're maybe sitting sober. I don't know. Have you got alcohol-free beer? Have you got cocktails? Have you got champagne? Get in the comments and just let me know. Just let me know. By the way, you know, we all know why we're here. The nectar. This stuff. This is the stuff that gets us through the day. It's the stuff that keeps us sane, right? It's the stuff that keeps the horrible illusion of sobriety at bay, right? You don't run for the subway doors when they're closing when you're sober. You don't do that. You wait 5 minutes like every other schmuck, right? But when you're a little bit tipsy, you're running down the escalator, you're kicking old people out the way, you're starfishing, the doors open because it's your train. It's your train, for you will tell when it leaves. That's what will happen. And who doesn't love a bit of fear, right? Who doesn't love a bit of fear when they wake up in the morning and you wake up, you go, did I do something? And then your flatmate peeks through the door and goes, you big twat. And you go, oh man, what did I do? And he goes, man, you schvinked a taxi driver yesterday. Like, what you do, man? You took down your trousers and you put your bare ass against the window, right? And the troublesome thing was the taxi driver couldn't even put down the window to give you into trouble because it would just be this almighty screech. And he would just be there with your hairy hole exposed in his face. And I'm sitting there in bed going, oh yeah, that's actually quite impressive. But we need that. That's what alcohol does to us, because we deal with the fear, we deal with the regrets. It makes us more emotionally in tune with ourselves, which turns us into more reflective people, which is a good thing. Have you ever seen what a night out is actually like? Like a good, proper night out? Have a wee look at this.
Genau mein Wetter. Genau mein Tag. Genau mein Kneipe. Genau mein Dame. Genau mein 5 Minuten. Genau mein Abendessen. Genau mein Gespräch. Genau mein Party. Genau mein Bett. Genau mein Bier. Wie das Land, so das Schotti, keltisch herb.
Now that's a night out. That's a night out, Karen Clifford. If you're watching, I'm sorry. This was done, you know, pre hashtag me too. And before sexualities ventured off in different directions. Listen, this is what I've got for you just now. I want to give you a little quick tutorial, right? In whiskey sours, okay? Whiskey sours, this is what we're after. So look, whiskey sours, do you know what? Sours in general are dead easy. They are the most robust of all the cocktails. Okay, they're almost difficult to mess up, right? And I kind of just want to give you a good solid basis of how to make any sour. Right now, sours can range from gin sour, vodka sour, whiskey sour. You can have amaretto sour, frangelico sour. If you don't know what frangelico is, it's a beautiful hazelnut liqueur. If you see frangelico at a bar, by the way, immediately get the barkeeper to make you a frangelico sour, a beautiful, thick, nutty sour. It's class. But right now, I'm going to show you the very basics and then how you can kind of change it up, right? So what we need for this, I'm going to make us what's called a Clover Club, a really old drink, right? It's like from the 1900s, and it was like a men's gentlemen's club down in Philadelphia called Clover Club, and they used to meet and drink, and it's all very kind of patriarchy. They're all kind of like sitting there drinking while the women are at home, kind of like doing the dishes and all that kind of stuff. But the most ironic thing about this drink is how feminine it is, and I'm going to totally show you why. So what we need is every sour starts off with the base alcohol, whiskey, gin, amaretto, whatever. And we go in with 60 mils, yeah? So that's what we go in with first. 60 mils of whatever base spirit you want to use. Then what we need is our lemon juice. Every sour comes with lemon juice. You need to go in with 20 mils. Always fresh pressed. Always fresh pressed. Never buy store-bought stuff. There's no need to. It takes 2 seconds to squeeze a lemon and just have this fresh, organic. It completely changes the taste. Okay, you have to go fresh. Now, what's going to make this a little bit different is the addition to our sugar syrup. Right now, usually with sours, you just have a normal sugar syrup, right? Like this stuff here. It's just very clear. You can make it at home. It's just you got like 100 mils of boiling water, 100 grams of sugar. You let it dissolve. Boom, you got sugar water, right? What you can do is make different types of sugar syrups, and this is one that I made. It's a raspberry syrup, real easy. It's a little bit like making a jam. You boil up some raspberries and some water. You drain it, and then you add, double the amount of sugar. Then you have liquid, and this is what you get. This is what you get, man. Yeah, totally. This is what you get. You get this really thick, jammy, tart sugar, and you can go crazy. You can make all sorts of syrups if you want. You can do pineapple syrup if you want. You can do strawberry syrup, raspberry syrup. You can try cucumber syrup if you want, raspberry syrup, rosemary syrup, whatever you like. Try it. So we want to kind of go in with the same amount of sugar as we have citrus, right? So that's what we want. That's you're going to be safe if you do that, right? And then what we need is a fourth element. We need this stuff here. It's called Aquafaba. If you don't know what Aquafaba is, it's you get a tin of chickpeas, right? See the juice from chickpeas? That's Aquafaba, right? And a lot of people will use an egg white in a whiskey sour. You don't really need to use egg white in a whiskey sour. You can use this stuff. Good for the vegans, good for the environment, right? What it does is it behaves the exact same way as egg white, and it gives the drink a viscosity. That's why you add egg white in the first place. It doesn't really give it a flavor. It just thickens the mouthfeel. Hello there, hiya. So that's what you want to do with this. This is just protein. Just behaves the same way as egg white. So we go in with about 20 mils of that. And because we have protein in there, we have to, whoops, oh no, we have to shake it up without ice. It's called a dry shake, right? I don't know why everything's euphemistic all of a sudden in the past like 3 minutes, but there we go, it's happening. So we just dry shake this cocktail, right? Because we want that protein to infuse with the sugar and the lemon. Okay. Oh my goodness, it's looking awesome already. So all I want to do now is get some ice. Shake it up. Make sure everything's on nice and tight. Let me just deal with this. I mean, you got to keep your surface clean, guys. You got to keep your bar clean. You know what I mean? You got to put everything back where it's supposed to be. You can't just be leaving shit at your ass the whole time, right? It's not how it works. It's not how it works. Okay, so we shake this up. Oh, no, that's it. That's what we're after. Okay. Take a nice glass. And you're going to see this amazing color with this beautiful foam. Look at that, man. Now that's what you want. You see what I'm talking about? About all these like rich guys sitting around in 1900 in some sort of hotel down in Philadelphia, and they're all drinking this stuff. Something's strange. Something strange. That's all I'm saying. That's why I kind of love this drink. So we have that there. That's fine. And there you have it, man. Look at that. It looks lovely. It looks beautiful and pink and rosé, and it's just you're looking at the world through some rose-tinted glasses right there. I mean, it's wonderful. Cheers. Oh. Tarty. Sweet. Citrus with a hint of juniper. And there you go. Is there any advertising going on here? Any sponsors happening? No, absolutely nothing. I should say, by the way, I'm not here entirely alone. I've got Gemma, as always, behind the camera. She's rocking it. And I've got the beautiful Josh Telson. He's sitting there up the back doing his thing. There's only the three of us. But we are, you know, we're doing our thing, man. We're all distanced and we're here and it's great. It's beautiful. So, do we have any comments coming in? Do we have anything that's tickling our interest? Dave Mo's thirsty. Is he doing anything about that? Dave, are you doing anything about it, mate? I mean, you can't just. Is that how you? Is that, you know? Do you speak to your mother with that mouth? I'm thirsty. Then get yourself to the kitchen, get a glass, and get that tap running. Anything else? Hello there, Glenn. I'm surprised you've got internet connection out there. Robbing for the neighbours again, are you, mate? Aye. Oh, we've all been there. We've all been there. Okay, man. So let me just give you a little. Let's just bring it down a little second, and let me just give you a small insight into what I have been doing over the lockdown. I had a little reminiscent phase where I was going through all my school stuff up there in the attic. And man, I was a bit of a dumbass at school, man. I did not find one award among any of my old notebooks, nothing for excellence in chemistry or understanding of mathematics. The only awards I found were awards for attendance. Now, I don't know about you, but an award for attendance seems quite patronizing to me. It's very kind of, well done, Chris. It's very sitting in an assembly hall going, wee Davis over there, he hasn't got an award yet. What can we do? Why don't we give him one for attendance? Do you realize how humiliating it is walking up onto a stage and collecting your attendance award? Not as humiliating as not being there in the first place. I owned it. I took it. I said, you know what? I'm going to own that attendance card and I'm going to do big things with it in life. What are you supposed to do with an attendance card in life? What are you supposed to do? You're sitting at a job interview 20 years down the line. So, Mr. Davis, I understand that you've came for the urban development job. Your qualifications that aren't quite there. Is there anything that you can? Is there any good qualities that you can bring to the job? I'm here, mate. I'm here. Well, what do you mean, Mr. Davis? I'm on it, mate. I've turned up, haven't I? Is this a good quality of yours? I've got awards for that shit, mate. Awards. But it's been a tough time, man. It's been a tough time. I got some. I went down the donor card route. Where you apply so that when you're dead, when you die, they can take your organs and give it to some people. Humans are weird, right? I went through the process. Humans are weird. You know what happens, right? If you don't go through this process, if you don't actually apply for the card, you're sitting there on your deathbed, right? And you die. And your family are around you, and they're all sobbing, and the doctor comes in and he goes, "Hi, the grieving family. I'm really sorry for your loss. I know this is a really troublesome time right now, but time's ticking, and we want to open this guy up, man, and get some of those juicy organs because there's some people waiting. How about it?" And of course, your family are going to be like, "Aye, that's exactly what he would have wanted. Like, go for it. Like, take whatever you need. Go for it." But do you know that you're not allowed to know, right? Any extended family, any immediate family, you're not allowed to know where your organs go, not for ethical reasons, not for moral reasons, for legal reasons, because we're weirdos. We're absolute weirdos, because you know what would happen? There'd be like some sort of disgruntled family member who would hunt down where your heart went. Poor Derek, just coming out like 2 weeks in hospital after bypass surgery like that. Breathing in the autumn air once again. Whoo! That was a close call, sweetheart, man? You know what? I'm just really glad I don't have a pig's heart. And then you've got Janice running down the street. "Excuse me, are you Derek? Do you live in 21 Duke Street?" I suppose I do. Aye. Right. Well, you've got my Bob's heart in there. Is that right, Bob in there, eh? You still alive in there? You still beating your heart? You cheating bastard. I've seen your texts. I've seen your emails. You broke my heart, you bastard. You broke my heart. And now I've got nowhere else to go, but you live on in this fucking bastard. I mean, imagine that. Like Derek's like that. What the hell? Chill out. Or he's got eyes or something like that from your mum. Like that. "Excuse me, are you Michael?" "I am Michael. Have you just had eye surgery?" "Aye, actually, it was. I had a terrible motorbike accident traveling at 60 miles an hour, and aye, whatever. He's there here. I found him. Oh, look at that. He's got Ma's eyes in there. Just like a bunch of family going like, hiya, mum. How you doing, eh? Oh, she had a good eye for dancing, so she did that. Have you turned into a good dancer lately, Michael? Have you turned into a good dancer lately?" Nightmare. That's why we're not allowed to do this stuff. But what else can I say? Started like everyone else, getting into cookery shows. Jamie Oliver, Gordon Ramsay, doing it, getting it done. You know what's not cool? What's not cool is when they get their kids to show you how to cook. Jamie Oliver's little perfect golden child with his wee blonde hair, right? And he's just sitting there in his big mansion, all privileged. Not a worry in the world for the rest of his life, teaching you how to make scrambled egg. It's COVID, mate. I've not been working for the past year. I'm depressed. Sometimes I struggle to get out of bed. Sometimes the only thing I can do well in my day is make scrambled egg. And there's you with your wee privileged ass and your non-stick frying pan making it better than me. Yes, all you need is some free-range eggs. We've got plenty of chickens in the garden. And you go down to your marketplace and you get your organic butter. Fucking organic butter. Free-range eggs, mate. Tell you what, I'll give you a wee tip, right? Give you a wee tip. Why don't you do what the rest of us do, right? I'll give you a wee cooking instruction video. You get into the fridge, right? You get into the freezer. You get your wee box of microchips, right? You throw them in the microwave for 1.5 minutes. Then you stop the microwave, take out, open box, add some salt, give it a sugar, whack in the microwave again for another 1.5 minutes, take out, leave to rest so you don't burn your wee mouth. And that may give you an idea of just some of the problematic issues that we are having, and never you're fucking waking up to a fridge full of fucking eggs and organic butter. I digress. It's I've had my ups and downs, man. I'm not gonna lie, I've had my ups and downs. I should have known when I started just crying at a tree in the middle of a park. I went for a walk. I had Brian Eno on, full blast. If you don't know Brian Eno, kind of ambient Philip Glass style. And I came across what's called in Germany a Wunschbaum. Eine Wunschbaum. And I was like, it's like a wish tree. Basically, just like random people had chosen this tree to hang little strings with little notes at the bottom, and they were lovely, man. They were like from little kids going, I just wish that I just hadn't. I just wish that I could be in the park again with my friends and playing football, and I just wish I could stroll in the park with my auntie and see my family, because being inside is so horrible. And I just started crying, man. I just started crying. I just like until I saw like one that just said, I can't wait to shag random people. And that kind of like, that kind of brought me out. But I was sitting there, man, I was sitting questioning, I was thinking, Jesus, man. I was questioning my ego a little bit, because it felt very dystopian. It felt very otherworldly. No one else was around. And I was just kind of like looking and holding and feeling these like kind of ghostly messages that were almost like from a like otherworldly. And I had to catch myself, man. I went, how big is your ego, man? Right? How big is your ego when you're literally holding in your hands the messages of other human beings that share this world with you, and you still think you're the only person left in the whole entire world, man? So on that note of ego, the best thing that I've done with my life in the past couple of months is my newfound passion for going to job interviews that I don't need or want. Human beings are a very explorative bunch. It's built into our evolutionary makeup. We simply just want to see and experience new things. I guess it's what drove us to make the jump from water to land, from continent to continent, exploring the deepest oceans to the highest mountains. We've even been on the moon, and that has always interested me. And our kind of latest exploratory feat was back in 1977, where we sent a gold disc right out into space just to say a wee hello. And the disc was a gold-plated intergalactic map to our very location in the universe. It contained digitalised messages of peace from every nation on Earth. It had the sounds of the planet, like the rainforest, the ocean and deserts. It contained music from Bach and Mozart and Chuck Berry, and it had a bunch of images on there too, 116 to be exact, images depicting an anatomical representation of all life on Earth. Some were on point, some not so much. For example, you're sending a photo that represents all life on Earth into the depths of the cosmos, and this is the best we could do? Really? This is the representation of life for all the universe to see? This was drawn by a 5-year-old man. Nothing is even in proportion. Is that a Komodo dragon? Is that a crocodile? A dinosaur? And the size of the ego compared to the people? Nah, surely we can do better than that. And there also seems to be some odd fascination with foliage where there's a woman clearing autumn leaves. Random. And then Santa just cruising through an autumnal forest. I mean, why autumn? Why the season of death? Morbidness? Really? This is the first impression we want to give? Strangely, there's an image of a man trying to Jedi power the shit out of some soy sauce from across the dinner table. You know that was a weird family pet round the table at Christmas. I mean, they included as well two different images of people consuming grapes. One concerns the questionable etiquette and hygiene of how one should eat grapes. But in fairness, at least it's kind of organic and rustic. And the other is of what? Capitalism? Hey man, that's not how we eat grapes at the supermarket. You haven't even paid for them yet. You have to at least pretend that you're trying them as a kind of quality control. You know, sneaking one or two from different bags, walking around the vegetable aisle, then going, yeah, they'll do. I mean, there is a limit to 116 images here, and we're doubling up on grape images. I'm missing something. My favourite, though, is the dolphins that fly. I mean, what kind of impression are we given here? We know that they jump out of the water, but anyone seen that for the first time doesn't know that. Can you imagine?
Right? After following the map to Earth through the cosmos, some other entity visits us and they land and it's like, nice place, Earth. Thanks for the invitation. So I've been looking forward to seeing these dolphins you speak so highly of. They live underwater. You see, Earth, first impressions aren't great. Confusion from the get-go. Why didn't you just show us them under the water in the first place? And that is kind of indicative as to who we are and what we do. It's so typical of Earth to send a message to someone that tells only half-truths, right? So, boss, disc is ready. Music, images of life, planet Earth, intergalactic whereabouts, sorted. Anything else? Nah, your best, let's just leave out the systematic racism and the oppression of half of humanity. Second thoughts, let's leave out religion and slavery and corruption and disease and war and poverty. Just leave it. Just leave it. What we've done is essentially put on our intergalactic Sunday best. Even on a universal scale, we're still attempting to keep up with the Joneses, right? It's the equivalent of tidying up the only part of the house someone sees when they video call you. Symbolically, what we've done is went fishing and we've spent all our money on the best lure possible and we've cast our rod into the cosmic ocean looking for a bite. And what will happen when we get one? We'll reel whatever it is in and knock it over its head and we'll drag it into a utility closet like a Hollywood hero escaping a villain's lair, right? And we'll steal its overalls, trying to put them on ourselves as it mumbles, "I expected to see more grapes here," before we mount its unidentifiable head above a global fireplace for all to see as we try our best to sneakily and connivingly infiltrate something we know nothing about. That's who we are.
Oh, I hope you enjoyed that. So that's one sketch, right? I've got another sketch coming up by a good pal of mine, Ben Smith. It's kind of, I think it might be the highlight of my career so far. Like, honestly, stick around for it, man. Just stick around for that. Also, listen, this is like a free thing. Donations are welcome. The links will be put up across your screen, but they are also easy to find below the video or wherever you're watching this. You can go to Buy Me a Coffee /WB, where that's my stuff. You can see a bunch of stuff that I do, podcasts, recipes, all this stuff. Go have a cruise, and if you like what you see, buy me a coffee. It's only £3. Buy me a coffee. You can also donate to the Comedy Cafe Berlin itself, and you can buy also some merchandise from here. These guys are, keeping it solid through the COVID, and it's nice to see them still here. But we need to keep that dream alive. We need to keep my residency here. It's a very selfish thing. I'm going to admit it. I like this place. Couple of shout outs. Cambo and Timo, Glasgow crew. I mean, what can I say, lads? Fair play to you for tuning in. If Basty's watching, I saw him. This is for you, man.
Genau mein Wetter. Genau mein Tag. Genau mein Bier.
That's for you, mate. That's some old jokes that I can't be. This is a whole new set tonight, and I'm reaching back. I'm reaching back into some old stuff. Simone is also out there. Hiya, Simone. It's like 10 o'clock where you are, not even. You're bright and early. I like it. Megan as well. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you're enjoying your little package, your little... that sounds as if I delivered drugs to you earlier on. I hope you're enjoying your little kind of cocktail kit. Okay, man. So listen, guys. Right, this is what like kind of Jamie Oliver does sometimes, isn't it? It's, okay, listen, guys, you're going to love it. It's easy, it's cheap, it's cheerful, paka, right? And Gordon Ramsay usually does. He usually kind of brings all that. All right, okay, so aperitivos. What we need is sweet vermouth, lovely, juicy. What we need is Campari. Campari is your fruit, and then we put it in, out, shake it about. Okay, so I'm having fun. I'm doing a show, man. I'm doing a live show. Look at me, hooked up. I should be. When are the tassels coming out, man? when is this stuff coming off and it's turning out a pole just comes down from the top? I mean, I'm waiting as well. So look, guys, I'm going to show you a really awesome way to make aperitivos. If you don't know what aperitivos are like Negronis, Aperol Spritz. It's what the Italians like to do, right, before an awkward meal with the family. They drink on an empty stomach just to kind of make them a little bit dizzy. It's a beautiful way, right? An aperitivo is supposed to kind of open up the stomach before a meal, and you can consume more, you can laugh more, you can enjoy more. Now, we all know the Negroni, right? Gin, sweet vermouth, Campari, right? So aperitivos, they always have, usually the ones I'm going to show you, they've always got the same two things. They've always got Campari and sweet vermouth, equal parts, right? So in each of these glasses is 30 mils of sweet vermouth and 30 mils of Campari. Sweet vermouth is a fortified wine. All the shit that doesn't go into actual wine is distilled and made into this. It's great. Campari is lots of fruits and herbs infused together to form a kind of sweet bitter liqueur. So these two ingredients, and you know what? It's good about these. Like these, this is the booze that someone brings you at New Year. This is the stuff that someone comes in and they go like that, oh, Happy New Year, and they've had it in their cupboard for like 10 years and they don't know what to do with it. Well, now you're going to know what to do with it, right? So we have Campari and sweet vermouth. Now, what I want you to do is I'm going to show you the Americano, right? The Americano is just a Negroni. Instead of gin, you add soda water. Just a little bit, okay? Just a little bit. Then we add ice. Boom. We give it a little stir. We add an orange zest. Boom. An Americano, right? Number two, Spagliato. Spagliato is Italian, actually, for mistake or wrong. And apparently, the history is that someone just made a Negroni wrong, and they put in some Prosecco or some Cremon or champagne or whatever sparkly, bubbly, alcoholic stuff you've got lying around. And it just stayed on the menu because someone liked it. My version is basically there was an Italian that just had a complete disdain for Americans and was like, what is this? What is this soda water in my Negroni? Why? This is Italy. Champagne. And then this is how this was born, right? So you just put in a little bit, same amount as you did with your soda. You add in some ice. And then another little orange peel. There you go, boom. Now, with pretty much similar ingredients, you've got two drinks, an Americano and a Spagliato. I'm leaving the finest, the best till the end, right? The third one is the addition of whiskey. Yes! It's called the Boulevardier, right? It was created in Paris by an American dude who had a kind of Paris Review journal thing going on back in the 1920s called a Boulevardier. So what you do is you add in pretty much as you like, but I'm going to go in with 40 mils. I think 40 mils is a good number for this. So you just throw it in there. Let me just put this back. We add our ice. And again, with a nice big orange zest. Now look at that. Boom, there we go. Give it a wee stir. Oh my God, now that is what you're after. And there you have, right? Anytime you're going to have a little dinner party and you want to get, you want to get creative, but you want to make things that taste quite different from one another, aperitivos, right? Americano, a Spagliato, and a Boulevardier. Soda water, some Prosecco, and some whiskey. Who says you don't learn shit at the Wandering Barman, man? Come on. Who says you don't learn this stuff? Okay, man. I'm going to sit and drink these while I introduce to you a little thing dear to my heart. This is a collaboration between me and Mr. Ben Smith, who's also watching. Please enjoy it. You're going to love it.
There is simply too much dishonesty and mistrust these days. Nobody really just telling you how it is. There's always somebody making you look over here while doing something devious over there. Boris Johnson is the prime example of this. If there was anyone in the world that does absolutely nothing but makes it look like a lot, it's that guy. If Boris Johnson was a street performer, he'd be one of these living statues. You know, the kind that just stand there doing absolutely, positively nothing, yet nevertheless make it look quite impressive. He'd even go one better, wouldn't he? He'd start to convince other people to do it for him, right? People that had zero intention in the first place of being a living statue for the day. And he'd still take 95% of your earnings. In fact, he'd come across as the nice boss. Here, mate, take half an hour, go for your lunch, on you go, you've deserved it. And he'd send you off in the direction of a food bank. Upon your return, there'd be a mannequin in your place, doing the job 1,000 times better than you ever could. And he'd just turn around and say, immigrants, eh? What are you going to do? He'd stand there, leaning against the wall, doused in silver spray paint, wearing a cowboy hat like a futuristic John Wayne, thinking to himself, I wonder if I got many of these mannequins and dotted them all over Scotland, I'd make a killing. And once again, Scottish people would be throwing their hard-earned cash unwittingly at the feet of spineless Tory ideas, thinking to themselves, how do these guys impressively do so little, yet continue to expel this rhetoric of success? I just need honesty. For people just to tell it how it is without easily offending anyone. Even with my closest friends, I'm worried about cracking a joke in case it conjures up terrible past childhood memories, meaning they have to spend an extra $100 at therapy that week. Listen, I don't want my honesty being someone else's financial burden. Just tell me what's on your mind. Stop sugarcoating stuff. It's like when you go out with your friends on a night out and you're out with the problem couple, you know the type. They're 10 years in and they're still at each other's throats. Just quit, guys. Move on. And you all end up in a karaoke bar and they get up and sing Ike and Turner's Proud Mary together. What are you telling me? Is this figurative? Should I take this literally? Are you guys in an abusive relationship here? Or genuinely happy you've left a good job in the city and you were tired of working for the man every night and day? Just tell me how it is. I can take it. But some people are scared to do that because reality is too real. In fairness, reality always has been dressed up as this inconceivable fantasy land. Places like Disneyland are the perfect example of this. A place where you can forget all your worries, where dreams come true and you can weirdly meet all your favourite cartoon friends in real life. It's all fine until the reality seeps through though. You see Simba holding his head under his arm, drinking cheap whiskey from a brown paper bag, with rings under his eyes and encrusted knuckles from street fights, waving people on at the Indiana Jones ride. You know, the only thing that Indiana Jones has got to do with archaeological artefacts, by the way, is Steven Spielberg and Harvey Weinstein. Disneyland is so far from reality that not even death exists there. If you die at Disneyland, you have to be outside in the car park before you can officially be pronounced dead. That's not what it's about. That's not what we want. Give me a reality check. Children should be exposed to a bit of mortality at a young age. Some obese guy walking under the castle, Mickey Mouse pops out from a bush and shouts, "Hello!" And the guy just clutches his heart, slowly falling to the ground. And Goofy comes running over, giving chest compressions and mouth to mouth. And Mickey Mouse is panicking, chain smoking 20 fags in the sidelines. Meanwhile, Minnie Mouse is taking full advantage of the distraction and having unprotected sex with Donald Duck in the bushes, while Daffy Duck is drug dealing to the children on the outskirts, chewing their ear off about intellectual property theft. That is a reality that I would really be into.
Oh my goodness, man! I don't know. I love that, man. I love that. That's just some beautiful stuff. That's an exclusive just for the people that are watching this tonight. That's not even due to be released yet, man. Ben done a great job on getting some of the images together. That's all his own artwork. None of this copyright shit, none of this Photoshop stuff. That's Ben's illustrations, man. Also known as Bulky Savage, Big B Savage. There'll be some links kicking about somewhere. He's a dude. Also, if you get on to Buy Me a Coffee, click on the link. You'll see all the podcasts that I do, and I do one with him. The podcast is called Lifting Your Spirits, and the episode is with Ben Smith. So go check that out and go have a listen. We talk about a load of different stuff. Right. How are we all doing, man? Are we happy? I mean, are we happy? Is there anything that needs to be kind of shouted out before I bring on my special guest? Oh, really? Yeah, we had some. We went back and forth a few times about how we should depict it because Disney have got such a kind of wide range of no, it's got a couple of ears. That's Disney's like property. Or like, nah, let's just how can we rip it apart and put it together? And that was all Ben's doing, man. So fair play. I think what I'm going to do is get my special guest on. Before we close the show, I've got one more cocktail to show you just before we close. But I think I'm going to invite Mr. Noah Telson on to my show. Man, are you there, big guy?
I'm here, big guy.
He's here, man. I can't believe that you're here.
I'm here. I mean, I'm not there. I'm here.
I know, but you are and you're not. And the reason I wanted you to come on the show tonight is because, you've seen you've seen about 98% of all the shows that I've ever done here, man. Yeah,
I certainly, yeah, I've pretty much, and I've seen this one too, which is
totally
against all odds. I've seen this one.
You've always been good. I mean, I don't know who doesn't know Noah on this. This is his place. This is his place. He's at home with his newborn Baba right now, and he can't be here. But also because of the COVID stuff, there he is, showing off his crib. But man, honestly, mate, thank you so much for tuning in because it's just not the same without you, man.
Oh, I've been shouting at you from home, hoping you'd hear me. I'm trying to deliver you ice and everything you need.
Totally. Usually Noah's the guy who usually brings me some stuff during the show, and is always kind of running around after me, quite frankly.
I haven't seen the setup that you and Josh built there, and guess Gemma as well. Can you see me? Can you, or is there a monitor?
Yeah, I can see you, but I'm trying to focus. I'm trying to focus on. I'm trying to focus on the people, but I can, if I do that, that's where you are, so I can see your cheeky face.
Cheers.
What's that you're drinking, man?
One of the things you made. I don't know. Leah made it for me in the other room while I was in the green room.
Oh, that's amazing. That's great.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Leah's drinking it along as well. It's her first time drinking since giving birth. Drinking hard alcohol, I should say. So,
right, okay. Right, yeah. This is great. Yeah. This is fantastic. Because I know you. I mean, I know you guys. You guys like a drink or two. It's like the whole family. I had to pre-warn Josh's wife Meg today. Just like I was like trying to hunt her down. I was like, how can I pre-warn Meg to say there's going to be a couple of cocktails tonight, man? I hope you don't mind. And she was like, what do you mean? What have you got planned? She was so worried, man. She was like, "Are you guys gonna get like really like fucked up and stuff?" And I was like, "No, it's all good, man. It's just I'm making more cocktails than there are people, so he's going to have to drink one of them." And she was like, "Oh, okay, you have fun." So that
That's
was
hilarious.
nice,
You did warn me
He'll
that
be
you
fine. Me and Gemma will take care of him, man. It'll be good.
Make sure he doesn't bike home.
yeah, we'll see. How are you doing, man? How's things with you? You good?
I'm good. Yeah, I realized I just put my camera out of focus, so people are just looking at a big blurry me.
I mean, to be fair, in contrast to the setup that I've got going on here, I mean, this is some pro stuff, man. I'm looking pretty dapper. I'm looking pretty sharp. This is not.
Yeah, you're putting me to shame.
Standard webcam stuff,
Oh man.
I'm actually quite worried to watch the playback, like to rewatch it just to see how many like chins I have and kind of that kind of thing. Sometimes a webcam is a good thing.
Yeah. No, those cameras are going to add a few pounds, and I can see.
Right, you just keep it in, pal. You just keep it right in there. I've seen you semi-naked before.
Tell us honestly, how strenuous is it keeping that gut sucked in all show long?
Really strenuous, man. Really strenuous because these shirts are made by our beautiful friend Christine, who has this company Schmetterling, Kein Schmetterling, and it's I got this shirt. This is one of the more expensive shirts. And she said, "Chris, can you come and do some modeling for me? And we'll put you on the website and I'll give you like a free shirt." And I was like, "Sure, I can do that, man." And I went up there, done some modeling for her. I mean, I say modeling, I was just standing in front of like a brick wall. She was taking photos. And then about 2 weeks later, the website actually went live and all the photos were of Ben McLean. I wasn't used in one of them. And if you don't know Ben McLean, he's a sweetheart Canadian here in the comedy scene, and he's just ripped.
Chiseled.
He's ripped.
He's absolutely chiseled.
Oh, dude, he's chiseled, man. And he's just standing there with his cheeky face, like effortless. And there's me like, "Hey, do you want to buy one of Christine's Kein Schmetterling shirts?"
Can I just tell you?
Look at that, man! It's made even worse by the fact that I've just got like braces on. Yeah, dude, like me and you. Listen, when you and I went swimming in the lake in the summertime, we were with our other halves. It didn't really matter, but we were still a bit like, yeah, man. You were. I kind of remember you saying something like you were in the water and I was still on the pier ready to go in the water and you were like, Chris, we're not looking so good these days, eh, man?" And Leah was like, how dare you? How dare you say that? And you were like, "It's cool, man. We always riff on each other, man. It's all good." And I was like, yeah, it's all good. We always riff on each other. Yeah.
Oh no, did I hurt you? I'm so sorry. But I'm pretty sure I was
enough because I've put on more weight since then. So
I'm pretty sure I said that as I was recumbent on the surface of the lake. The only, something I was never able to do without body fat. So
yeah, totally, man, totally.
Right there.
No, I hear you, man. I hear you. Yeah. So listen, man. Thank you for coming on. Listen, I kind of asked you to prepare, the questions that I was going to ask you, man. On my podcasts, I kind of always ask people if they have any strange traits or strange or weird habits. I'm just wondering if you have any.
Yeah, I hope I have the consistency of spit ready to do this right now, but I can blow a spit bubble.
Right. Okay. Right. Okay. Here we go.
I'm going to try this.
Oh, you dirty bastard. I love that this is Saturday night TV.
It's not coming off the tongue the way it should, though. Ready? 1 second.
Oh, yeah. Get a side profile. Maybe that will help.
I got to work.
Switch on the fan.
It depends on the consistency of the. Oh,
So,
maybe
ladies
not
and
today.
gentlemen, my special guest for the evening. Look at me doing some highbrow comedy, doing some proper sketches, showing you how to do some proper high-end Michelin star cocktails. Hey, what have you got for us, Noah? I can do spit bubbles.
Hey, you asked me what a special talent I have, okay?
I love it, man. Okay.
I'm otherwise a highly unremarkable person.
I love it, man. Is there anything you would like to ask me? Anything at all that I have no idea what you're going to ask me?
Yeah. Can you tell me the conversion from pounds to kilograms?
I can't, and I don't think I want to because I know what I weigh in kilograms. And all I know, the only conversion I know, that pounds is more than kilograms. I think it's
You can't have
£3.
it sound like it's more than
I think it's £3 to a kilogram. Can the 300,000 people watching online confirm?
Throw it in the comments. Let's see. I mean, there is Google, and I'm sure they're like
450 grams is £1.
Google.
Okay. Yeah, totally. Hey, who needs Google when I just put on like a comedy show for 35 people? Let's do this.
Should I ask you a question that's not easily Googleable?
Yeah, I mean, it says, not a lot about my life, that when I ask you to ask me any question you want that is Googleable.
Okay, I know I had trouble saying it too, but I do have a legitimate question I've always wondered about you, which is, I don't expect you to have much of morning life because I know I know what you do. You're mostly a night person, but
sure,
the few mornings you have, what is your morning routine?
Morning routine. Let's see. So let's say I wake up in the AM, 11:45 AM. I stir, take a piss, stick on the kettle, and we're already into the afternoon.
Yeah. All right. No lotion, no splash water in the eyes.
I'm not a lotion kind of guy, man. I have to admit, my skin's always been. Say again.
We can all tell with that lighting.
With this HD 4K camera stuff. I got man, what happened to Davis over COVID, man? Did he age 10 years? Like, do I look like a 45-year-old man? Can you see my crow's feet?
Yeah, dude.
But no, I don't really have a morning routine, man. This all needs to change. But my morning routine has just been, I'll have a smoothie and then a coffee. And my smoothie consists of a banana, frozen strawberries, heifer milk, squeeze of honey, and that's me. And that's me. That's how I start my day.
Here's a little tip. If I may, tell the mixologist what to do.
And please.
A little spinach, a little peanut butter.
Oh, all right. I like that, man. I like your style. All right, man. There was just one little thing I wanted to ask you before we go. Is there since you've been to pretty much all the Wandering Barmans, and I am pretty much your longest running resident, other than GLB, but me and Josh kind of came to the conclusion today that GLB doesn't really count because it's like the owners team, improv team, and I don't know. It's kind of like being a regular or a Stammgast at a bar, and the only person you've outstayed is the actual owner of the bar because he has to be there.
Right. He's got to close up. Yeah.
yeah, totally. So, is there any memorable moments of any Wandering Barmans that you can remember?
Yeah, I always end up getting like really drunk, and it's hard to remember. But there are some moments. There's one moment I think they were from the Netherlands, and they sat like right up front. Do you remember this group of Dutch? And they were just really disruptive. They were getting up and leaving the theater and coming back like several times during the show. And then at some point, one of them gets a phone call.
Oh yeah. So I mean, you're okay. This is actually, I remember this vividly because I think this was the first year for sure that you'd opened, and then obviously you have like a no drug policy anyway, right? But I remember like an email getting like sent out around to all the performers like 2 weeks after that show, going like that, guys. Like drugs will not be accepted at all anywhere in the establishment, because during that show, these like Dutch people mid-show just stood up and was on the phone. I was like, "Where are you going?" And they were like, "Oh, I have to go get some cocaine."
She's straight up on the phone with her drug dealer.
Straight up on the phone with the fucking dealer. And then she came in and she sat down, and I felt so bad, man, because my show is kind of ruckus anyway. I like enjoy the hecklers, but the next show was like Stefan Steindor's his big sketch show thing, and it's all like there's improv, there's sketches, and everyone's supposed to like be and they were just like, fucking yeah, like, and they were just like. And I think from that moment on, any performers and any like improvers and any shows that are going on the same night as the Wandering Barman, they're always like, Jesus, like it doesn't matter. Let's just all get drugged, man, because the crowd are going to be shit faced.
Hey, I'm not upset about that.
But anyway, man, that was a one time only. Noah, you've been absolutely a gentleman and a scholar over the past 5 years. Thank you for hosting me every single month.
Our pleasure.
And
Chris.
I've got two things to ask or say. One, I've over the past year with not performing, I've written like an hour and a half worth of stand-up material, all brand new. Can I do a 1 hour stand-up show here? Not the Wandering Barman, but just like a one hour stand-up show.
So that if you go to our website, there's a place where you can just send us an email.
Sure, I'll apply. I'll apply. I'll apply. You bastard. Second of all, turn off your fridges, man. It's been 4 months, no one's been here, and all your fridges are on. Save yourself some money. That's the kind of guy I am.
Can you do that for me?
No, you're going to wake up early tomorrow and come down and switch off your fridges, you crazy bastard. Everyone, thank you very much. No. Thank you very much, Noah. You're a gentleman. Thank you very much, man. I really appreciate you coming on. Cheers. What a legend, man. What a legend. Okay, everyone. We are nearing the end of the show. Is there anything that anyone would like to say before we kind of go off? Tell me. Oh, Nico, thanks for tuning in, man. Nico's in the hospital right now. He's having a little operation. It looks like you're on the mend. I told you that I live around the corner from the hospital. I'm happy to come. I can't come visit you. It's COVID times. They won't allow me. But if you're allowed to step outside, I'll come, man. Stay strong. Everyone's got a lot of love for you. You're going to get through it, man. You're going to get through it. And then I'm going to make you some drinks. That's what's going to happen. Okay, I'm feeling the love, guys.
We also found out
How much is in a kilo?
2.2 pounds per kilo.
2.2 pounds per kilo. I don't want to, let's not, that makes me like 150 pounds or something like that. That's terrible. Why did look at this movement as well. Like, this is how much weight I've put on. It's like, it's not like, it's like that fucking, I can't move, man. I can't move. Jesus Christ. Right, okay. Brace yourself. Right. I'm going to show you a last drink, and then we're going to go, man. Listen, I think this has been a great show. Some donations, please. If you want to the Wandering Barman, go to the buymeacoff.ee/WB. The link will be there. That's Buy Me a Coffee. Just have a scroll. You don't even need to buy me a coffee. Just have a scroll if you want. And check out Comedy Cafe Berlin, where you can donate to their cause and buy some merchandise as well. You will be doing a great deal to help them. But for now, I want to show you a really amazing cocktail called a Vieux Carré. And it calls for a wonderful array of spirits and liqueurs. And a Vieux Carré was invented in New Orleans, down in New Orleans, down in the 1930s, right? And what is amazing and what I love about this drink is New Orleans is like an amazing part of the world, right? It's surrounded by Mississippi and Alabama. It's a bit of a Bible Belt. It's got jazz, the creation of jazz. It's got this huge port. And back in the 1800s, 1900s, a lot of immigrants were coming in that port. And there's a square there called Vieux Carré. And that's what square means in French. And it consists of, it's kind of representative of that square. So we have like American bourbon, we have French liqueur, French cognac, and we have Italian sweet vermouth. This is actually French, but you can also use Italian. I don't have any Italian. What can I do? It's a lockdown. We're supposed to get Italian French vermouth. And it's a free show. What am I supposed to do? Source it from Amazon and try to get all those like mileage happening? No, we're sticking to this. So, really easy to do. What we need is Peychaud's bitters, which I actually don't have. I do apologize, but it calls for Peychaud's bitters. I'm just going to use a little tiny drop of Angostura. That will do. Instead, Angostura is a little more bitter, is darker than the Peychaud's. So what we need to start off with is our whiskey. Try to remember the measurements of this, actually, come to think of it. Okay, we need 30. Yeah, I've got it. We're rocking. So, I mean, try to keep the numbers in your head. It's like converting pounds to kilos. So we want 30 mils, right, of our whiskey, right? You can use bourbon or you can use rye. Rye was more common in the 1930s down in New Orleans. But you can use whatever you want, right? We need to go for some French cognac. Cognac is a kind of wine-based spirit made from white wine grapes. And it's aged in barrels. There's 3 different types of cognac. There's VS, which is aged for 3 years or longer. VSOP, which is aged for, VS 2 years. VSOP 4 years. And then XO, which is 6 years or longer. So we have that, and we're going to stick with French. And we're going to go in with our Italian sweet vermouth because it's 30 mils as well. And so look at the color. This color is, honestly, man, it's so amazing. It's like honey. This drink is just absolutely amazing. And then we need Benedictina. Benedictina is a French liqueur. It can be best described as a kind of brandy liqueur. It's made with like 27 different herbs and spices, all ranging from coriander, red berry, Earl Grey tea, orange zest, nutmeg. So we just go in with a little dash of that, like 10 mils. And then we go in with our ice, which I don't have any. I think it's all good, man. I think we've got enough. We've got enough. And then we'll go in with a stir. Hi. How are we all doing? This is a New Orleans drink I'm making called a Vieux Carré. Give it a little taste, when you're making these drinks. It's a bit like making, it's a bit like cooking a steak. Like you kind of feel it, test it, what's going on. You give it a little taste. Then you get your nice glass. Boom. When we're ready, look at this. We're flowing. We get our little julep strainer. We throw it in there. Look at that colour. Absolutely wonderful. Last thing we need. This actually calls usually for a lemon twist. We're going to go orange because the Benedictina is made with orange zest. So I think it's going to complement it well. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the Vieux Carré, a lovely velvety kind of nectar honey drink, really strong in the nose and really well balanced out with the acidity and the sweetness of the vermouth, and then this amazing mouthfeel from the cognac. You get a good old kick from the whiskey, but the thing that actually comes through the most is all those different herbs and spices that the Benedictina is made up of. That, my friends, I think concludes our evening. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Hope you enjoyed yourself. I've been Chris Davis. I'm the Wandering Barman. Thank you, and a huge shout out to the Comedy Cafe Berlin. Josh, thank you very much for setting all this up. You can donate to the Comedy Cafe Berlin. Listen, man, this isn't an easy setup. You've seen me do a streaming, guys. You've seen me try to do a stream at home, and it's all pixelated, and I'm running around, and Gemma's like, where the fuck are you going? Like, what's going on? She's following me around. I'm changing into costumes and stuff. Look at this setup. There's like editing going on, live editing. That stuff doesn't come cheap. These guys are trying to stay alive. It's really good if you could donate something to them. Go check out my page. You don't have to go buy me a coffee. It doesn't matter. But there's loads of podcasts and recipes and different things on there that will entertain you until I figure out a proper website and all the rest of it. Gemma, thank you so much for being my camera person again. I'm sure we're going to, finish off these drinks and have a good time. Thank you very much for tuning in. I bid you farewell. Good night.